We work with IKEA cabinets a lot, and one of the problems we run into is the cabinets that they make, they come in certain sizes and they don't fit the space that we need. In this case, we want a 6-inch cabinet to fill this space. IKEA really doesn't make anything that's going to fit there. They make a 9-inch cabinet that's open with shelves, but in this case we only have 8 inches, and that's just not going to work for us. So we're going to make a 6-inch cabinet using a 12-inch box and a panel. It's going to have a door that opens, and we can store platters, cookie sheets, whatever we want. So these are the parts we need for our custom cabinet. We have an Acura base 12-inch, and we have this Perfect Adele corner cover panel. This is the panel that goes on the 49-inch Lazy Susan. The reason we want to use this panel is because it's 3/4 of an inch thick, which is what we need, and it's just the right height for our door, which is 30 3/8 inches. If we cut this out of something else, we would have more cut edges that we would have to finish later. I'll show you how we're going to finish those cut edges. We're still going to have one, but in this case we'll have 3 good sides that are factory finished. So actually my finished dimension that I want for my cabinet is 6.5. So I've set my table saw to 5 inches. I don't know if you can see that or not. Anyways, set my table saw to 5 inches. That allows for 5 inches in the center, plus 3/4 on each side, which totals 6.5 inches. So I've cut my bottom and top. Now I just have to cut the back. The back is actually a little bit bigger because it has a nailing flange around the outside. So I've set my table saw to 5 3/4, and now I'm going to cut the back. This side, I'm just going to use 2-inch screws. Beautiful. So now that it's assembled, I'll double check my measurement. Sure enough, it's 6.5. It's really important when you're assembling IKEA cabinets to make sure that you square up the box. And this is the time to do it. It's when you're nailing on the back. You know that this back is going to be square. So now all you have to do is make sure that the back is tight against 2 sides when you nail it, and then you know that your box is going to be square. There we go. That's our 6-inch box. The next step is to put on the legs, and then we'll cut the door. Since this cabinet is so small and it's not going to be holding much weight, we're only going to install 2 sets of legs, or rather 2 legs. These little tabs, they may seem a little hokey, but actually they really serve a purpose. They support the side of the box, which is where all the weight is distributed. Because if you have shelves in here, if this were a bigger cabinet and you had shelves, you would be piling all that weight, and all the weight would be resting on the sides, not on the bottom. So this tab overlaps the side and provides the support that the cabinet needs. If you leave off the tab, the whole cabinet could collapse, and we've actually seen it happen. Okay, and there we have our installed 6-inch cabinet. Next, we're going to make the door. Okay, now we're going to cut our door out of this panel over here, and I have the saw set up just a little bit less than 6.5 inches. Our cabinet is 6.5 inches. I've set this to 6 5/16 because the doors are actually slightly smaller than the outside opening. It allows them to open and close freely without rubbing against each other. So my table saw is set up, and now I'm just going to cut the panel. We've got our door cut to size. We have this cut edge to deal with. Well, what do we do about that? Well, fortunately, with the IKEA toe kick, they supply these strips here that match the grain of the wood. On the back is a heat-activated glue, so all you need is a heat gun and apply it to our cut edge here, and when we're done, it'll have a nice finished edge. So that's what I'm going to do now. If you don't have a heat gun, you can use an iron for this. Okay, now we have to attach our hinges. I've already done one. I'm going to show you how to do the next one. This is a little template that you can get at Home Depot. They sell it over where they sell the hinges. And it's just the right spacing for the IKEA hinges. Okay, I've measured another door, so I know that the center is exactly 3 1/8 from the bottom or the top. So I've measured that, I've made a mark, and now I'm going to take this template and align it. The template has a nice center line marked on it. I'm going to line that center line with my mark. Then I'm going to take a tapered bit just to make a mark. You can use anything that's pointy. And this will just give me my center mark for all my holes. Along with this template, which as I said you can buy from Home Depot, they sell this drill bit. They come together. This drill bit is exactly the right size for the hole, for the main hole. So being very careful, drill straight down, not move in any way.